Hallo, guten Morgen. Heute ist der letzte Tag im Schritt. Wir sind jetzt unterwegs zur Farm und wollen dann gleich Strohblumen pflanzen. Und ich bin so gespannt, wie das dort aussieht, wie sich das dort anfühlt. Und ja, der Bus ist voll. Da sind ein paar People. Anja ist wie immer mit dabei. Am Telefonieren, eigentlich auch wie immer. Genau. Und achso, okay. Wir sind hier vorne. Ja, ich bin im Bus, weil hier ist ein deutscher Bus. Deswegen habe ich gedacht. Ich bin gespannt. Es wird heute keine Übersetzung geben, sondern wir sollen es fühlen. Weil wenn wir es nicht verstehen oder die Leute zu weit weg sind, die reden, dann darf wir eben fühlen, was da los ist. Ich werde darüber berichten, weil wir später... So, jetzt sind wir hier auf dem Weg ganz dicht bei der Farm. Ab jetzt wird's Abenteuer. Wir sind jetzt auf Schotterpisten unterwegs und überall stehen Leute rum. Man das davon gucken, dass wir die richtigen Abzweigungen nehmen, weil nirgendwo gibt es Schilder. Ich zeige euch mal gucken, ob man es sehen kann. So ungefähr sieht es aus und gleich sind wir da. Jetzt sind wir ausgestiegen, warten noch auf die anderen Farmbusse. Ein paar Leute sind schon hier. Wir sind quasi die Ersten und haben jetzt so ein bisschen Freizeit, bis alle Busse angekommen sind. Es ist wirklich eine Farm, völlig aus dem Boden gestampft, sehr frisch sozusagen. Ich bin gespannt, wie die Infrastruktur wie die Infrastruktur dann nächstes Jahr aussieht. Da werden wir bestimmt ganz viele Bilder bekommen und das dann auch weitergeben. Und hier finden wir schon die ersten Anpflanzungen. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob man das sehen kann. Das ist mit der Reflexion wahrscheinlich jetzt ein bisschen ungünstig. Und ich zeige euch dann weitere Bilder. Hallo, da kommt jetzt Auto. Die einfach nur vorbeifahren. Da ist mal Gary drin. Mal sehen, was er gleich zu sagen kann. Steigt jetzt gleich aus dem Auto aus. Wir warten gespannt.
Well, I'm not sure if we should. Oh. I'm just wondering if maybe we should take them in groups rather than wait for everybody. Oh yeah. Well, I can talk. If I talk loud, can you all hear me?
Yeah.
We have 20 buses, and there's going to be groups coming, and it's going to be difficult to get everybody. I mean, you'll be standing and waiting. So I'm thinking rather than do that, we'll walk through, and perhaps Dominic, maybe we can take this route, walk through, and then they can start planting. You want to plant? Yeah. I heard 6 yes. Okay. No, this is really a very special opportunity because the reality of this is the real first farm in the world for Helichrysum. Now in Croatia, there's a lot of little farmers, that's got their little acre, half-acre garden plot where they planted Helichrysum. And Now, yes. So what I was saying is, Helichrysum is like almost the state plant, as we would call it at home, the state flower, because Helichrysum has generated tremendous income for Croatia for many, many, many years. And to help you understand a little bit. Thanks, Cornelia. Well, I started buying Helichrysum in Croatia 19 years ago. And we actually invested in a farm here 19 years ago. And then the war broke out and everything was lost. But I always loved Croatia. I always had a connection, I guess, through the Helichrysum. But I always knew that one day I would come back and we would start again. And we did. But because it was several years, the war went on, and it was after the post-war years and settling down and reestablishing and rebuilding the country, and so it was a hard time. And it's only been the last 6 years that Croatia has really started coming into its own. And now Croatia as a country is one of the most stable countries in Europe, and has a very stable economy, a very stable and safe environment, and has in the last 2 years become one of the preferred tourist destination points for all of Europe. And if you notice at the hotel, the boats there in the dock, well, that's part of it. But it's just a beautiful country as you're starting to establish. But what I was saying is that I'm in Italy, but the difference between the Helichrysum here and some of the other countries is the neural acetate levels. Because the neural acetate is the compound that is really responsible for the natural hemostat activity and the natural anesthesia activity, the pain killing, the anti-inflammatory action. And so the higher the neural acetate is, the more effective Helichrysum is in those two particular areas. Natural hemostat, meaning it'll regulate blood, it'll thin it, or it'll thicken it. I've got, and golly, I apologize, I should have shown you since we're here, but I've got scans taken at the University of Utah from 2004. It was 4, wasn't it? It was
4 or 5.
the year before Joseph was born.
That's right.
So 2003, I was working on our farm in France, planting, and at that time, some of you may know, I was pretty busy involved in bodybuilding competition, and I'd competed the year before and took first place in the Western region states. And then I was competing again the second year, which was 2003, and we were in France doing the spring planting. We were going to the gym, all the distributors that were there, I'd take those that wanted to go, and we'd go to the gym every morning because I had my routine. And one of our distributors was on the bench press doing a wide lat pull down, and I was spotting for him, and the machine was not bolted to the floor. And we were at 450 pounds, and the machine started to come over. And it would have crushed him. And I grabbed the machine and told him just to hold it, not to let go fast or go the other way. And I grabbed the machine and tried to push it back, but with the weight, it pivoted and came over on top of me. And it broke my ankle as we went down. They put a cast on it, and then I went to head home, and that was the year of the air traffic control strike in France. And so it took me 2 days to get home. Well, as a result of it, I wound up with 2 6-inch long blood clots in my leg because of the pressure from the cast and the flying and the waiting and all that. So that